Hey, what up again, y'all? Welcome again to the NickMaddenTv. Today's show, y'all, I'm talking about Shedeur Sanders again, the Cleveland Browns quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Wrist Up himself. What if, you know what I'm saying? What if Shedeur had it started on week one? You know what I'm saying? Would the season had it been different, or how would it have went? Hey, I'll be back again to give y'all the answer to that on the NickMaddenTv. Don't y'all touch that dial.
Hit that play, let it run on repeat. Hot take, one shot, press play, new drop. Every day from the screen to your ears, all in HD. You already know who it is, Nick Madden TV. Nick Madden TV.
Yes, sir. Welcome back again, y'all, to the NickMaddenTv. Today, hey, we talking about what if my boy Shedeur had started week one for the Cleveland Browns last year. You know, if all the other stuff hadn't occurred. You know what I'm saying? But hey, make sure y'all hitting that like button, subscribe when you're coming in. You know what I'm saying? And let me know in the comments how y'all enjoying the show, and let me know what y'all think about him changing his number to the 2 again. We right back legendary. So let's go ahead and get into it though. So look, what if he had started week one? But let's take it all the way back. From how the season ended. He played the last 7 games. We're gonna go ahead and check out those stats, and we'll go from there though. So let's check it out. All right, so Shedeur, he ended the season 1,400 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But we all know that interception number gonna come down, and we also gonna go back into history, how he was in college, and you know what I'm saying, just to give y'all a little rough draft on why he was one or two top quarterbacks coming out of the college 2 years in a row, which as in on the first year when Caleb Williams came out, they were projecting Shedeur to go number 2 behind Caleb Williams. You know what I'm saying? That was his first year in Colorado, you know what I mean? And then the second year, you know what I'm saying, Cam Ward and him, they was 1 and 2 again. But we already know how the draft went. So you know, they tried to sabotage my guy, but you know the boy was he was top 2 quarterbacks coming out of the draft 2 years in a row. You know, got 10 interceptions, you know what I mean? So starting off in Jackson State, you know what I'm saying, he played 13 games. Passing yards 3,231, 30 touchdowns, y'all. 8 picks, you know what I'm saying? 3 rushing touchdowns. That was his first year in Jackson State. Then came down to the second year in Jackson State. His numbers get better every year. So when his first year, he had a little rough time, but hey, the first year in Jackson State wasn't that rough. Second year in Jackson State, 3,700 and some, you know, the number went up on passing yard percentage went up also too. And touchdown completions. Hey, I mean passing touchdown, they went up by 10, 40. He had 40, y'all. Interceptions went down. Numbers keep getting better over time. You know what I'm saying? 6 interceptions his second year in Jackson State. What it like 6 rushing touchdown, but we all know, I mean, he get his rushes in, but that's not really his strength. You know, his strength is his accuracy. Let's go down to first year in Colorado. We already know how they went. I think they only won like 3 or 4 games or whatever. But first year in Colorado, they trying to overturn it. 27 touchdowns on another level supposedly. You know what I'm saying? 3 picks. You know what I'm saying? So he known for taking care of the ball. Second year in Colorado, y'all already know, went straight on up. 37 touchdowns, 10 picks, same as last year. Not quite bad. The interception went up, but completion percentage went up, and the passing yard went up too. He had 4,000 yards, and he won the I think the golden whatever the the award is, the Johnny Unitas Award that year also too though. He ended his college career 14,347 passing yards. 134 touchdowns, 27 interception. Man, that ain't bad at all though. You know what I mean? So we're gonna keep it on moving though. But those just his stats in college. Let you know he was already one and number 2 top quarterbacks to come at the collegiate league and things for 2 years, the last 2 years. But my boy 5th round pick, but Cleveland Browns got him for a steal, being as a 1st round top pick, and they got him in the 5th round. Let's get it back. So moving along. Hey, make sure y'all hitting that like button and subscribe also too though. Like I said, man, we giving y'all some good content. But what if though? Hey, if he started if he started week 1 last year, I'm gonna use the same little win lose record that he got in, whatever game he won, like first game, second game, third, so on and so on. He won. He played the last 7 games, as we know. He won 3 of the 4, so that's how we're gonna take it. So, this is the schedule before the year had started. This is the last year schedule 25. As you can see up top, though, So, as we already know from the last couple on the last 7 games, he went 3-4. Started with the Raiders. That was a W. Lost to the 49ers, lost to the Titans, lost to the Bears, lost to the Bills, and won the last 2 against the divisional rivals. You know what I mean? So we're gonna use the same old metric. He won, lost, had four lost skid, then won 2 in a row, and then we're gonna keep on going with the thing though. So pulling up on the schedule, this how it probably would have went first week versus the Bengals. They would have won. They would have beat the Bengals. They would have lost to the Baltimore Ravens. They would have lost to Green Bay, lost to Detroit, and lost to the Vikings. You know what I'm saying? Which I think probably would have happened regardless, because those are 4 teams there. They kind of like they had some good year. They had a good year last year, especially with Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, his dynamic on how he is. I would have said they would have lost that game too. Green Bay early, I mean, who never know? But right now they lost it. You know what I'm saying? So Detroit playoff team too, but I think they had a bad year this year though, man. They ain't take that next step as they should, but they are a work in progress too though. Detroit Lions, man. Campbell got to get that fix up there. Minnesota, they was on and off their rocker though since Sam Darnold left them for Seattle and won the Super Bowl. But then he had, the next couple games would be Pittsburgh. They would have beat Pittsburgh. That mean they would have swept Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? And same thing for the Bengals. They would have swept them. You know what I'm saying? So that's like 2 wins in their division with 1 loss thus far. You know what I'm saying? Then Miami would have beat Miami. Patriots, they probably would have beat the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Patriots went on a good run with first-year head coach Mike Vrabel for them. You know what I'm saying? But it would have been nice to see Shedeur and them beat them. They probably could have with the defense that the Browns had, Myles Garrett. I think they probably would have beat them and things. You know what I'm saying? Bye week come next. We're gonna continue going on. The Jets, they would have lost to the Jets. Lost to the Ravens again. I mean, they lost again, so that's 2-2 in their division. Coming up against the Raiders, though, you know what I'm saying? They would have beat the Raiders, we already know. Lost to the 49ers, lost to the Titans, they did. Bears playoff team, Bills playoff team. They would have beat the Steelers and the Bengals, so they would have been 4-2? 4-2 in their division. That's not bad though, you know what I'm saying? But the record total would have been 7-10. If he had started this first season as QB1, they would have went 7-10. Although they would have missed the playoffs, but I think it would have been a good jump for him. They probably would have saved Kevin Stefanski's job, or maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But I think I like Todd Monken better though. I'm quite sure they probably like that too though. So I think they would have went 7-10, man, and that ain't bad. If he had started week 1, getting all the reps and stuff like that, I think that's probably would have been about right. So if he had started week 1, Cleveland Browns, y'all probably been sitting at 7-10, dog. 4-2 in the division, that ain't bad. Coming into this year, the way y'all making these moves, y'all would have been right on schedule and probably making the wild card this year, especially coming up with the schedule you guys got this year though. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go ahead and check that out too though. Let's go and bring that on the stage. All right, so 2026 schedule. I don't know if y'all can see it though. I got the numbers on there about week how they gonna go. So we see the orange over here as home and the white away. So we got the Saints as the first week opponents. They start off on the road 3 weeks in a row. They got the Saints, then they got the Ravens, then they got Bengals. You know what I'm saying? They beat the Bengals last year. Man, look, this could be a 2-1 records thus far. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be them in Baltimore who can be fighting for the number 1 spot early in the season. But we can see how it go when it get closer to after the draft when I do my schedule prediction, though. You know what I'm saying? So week 1, I take them over the Saints. Week 2, I have them losing to Baltimore. Week 3, you know, just off top, I have them beating the Bengals as they did coming in. All right, then number 4, the week 4, they got Baltimore again at home. This might could be a revenge game though, but you know, I'm leaning more towards Baltimore because they got probably the better pieces. But hey, Cleveland can show up and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So starting out, I get them 2-2 right now. Then week 5, they got now the next couple of games, they got a lot of games at home. They got to capitalize off this part. So they got the Bengals again. I have them beating the Bengals. Week 6, you know what I'm saying? They got Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they beat Pittsburgh last year. I think Pittsburgh gonna be down bad. I have them beating Pittsburgh. Week 7, you got the Texans, which is on D'Amico Ryan with the heavy defense. Browns defense should be standing strong. Hey, we need Shedeur to make some more plays over there. I mean, I'm more leaning to the Texans because they're probably they're better, but I mean the Browns might be even better this year, the next year coming up though. So, but just a prediction though. I'm just going down a week though. I'll probably I'm gonna get my prediction when before the after the draft. Week 8 supposed to be the coach. That's my squad. You know, I'm a horseshoe. Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck all day, depending on what Indiana Jones go. I mean, I am leaning more towards the Browns, depending on how if Indiana Jones back and things like that, and how we looking. You know, week 9 they got the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, this your chance to get the revenge on Kevin Stefanski too. Of course, I'm gonna be leaning towards the Browns, and they're gonna be a good game though, especially if the Browns got a good record right now. But as I'm looking at it, if I'm guessing correctly right now, they only lost 2 games, and that's only to Baltimore. Well, 3 games, including the Texans. So right now, I got them. There's one. And how many? Well, what the weeks are we in right now? I said this week 9. So they're more like they 6-3 right now. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty good coming in. 6-3. Shoot. Then they got on. So after the Texans, like I said, they got the Colts. I got them leaning more towards the Colts. I mean the Browns. Then they beat Atlanta against Carolina. They're gonna be a little nice little matchup. They're gonna be at home again. Like I said, they got these home games, and that's mid-season, so you probably ain't getting that much bad weather right now. So of course, I'll probably have them over the Panthers. Going into the 11th week, that's Jacksonville going to a good environment. They might, Jacksonville might be raining or hot. Gets Travis Hunter again. First time gets Travis Hunter if he be on playing the start. You know what I'm saying? So then Pittsburgh again, I'll probably lean more towards the Browns. They might, but Jacksonville might end up beating them though down in Jacksonville. Going down to week 13, it look like Tampa. Like they going to Tampa. And then week 14, I think they probably going back home week 14. That might be their bye week. Yeah, that might be no. Because they got Tennessee again. They got Tennessee on the road again. Got to get revenge. And then they got the Giants and the Jets, the last 2 games and stuff like that. Those can be winnable games, but that, you know what I'm saying? So you gonna be in New York that whole little time. So hey, Zion Stadium, I think he gonna end up splitting one of these, being in New York that whole time. And then especially late, early up in January or during the winter time. So what if Shedeur had to start at week 1, man? I definitely think he would have been putting up numbers, as y'all can see though. You know what I'm saying? I don't think his stats gonna be. Definitely, stats not gonna be the same. He don't put the ball in harm's way that often like that. So Browns this year coming in, like I said, last year they probably would have went 7-10. This year they might can go 10-7, maybe 10-7. They got a good schedule in a way if it's put together though. But if it end up, week by week how we got it, then they got a good chance on making the playoff and stuff. But hey, that been my time for the day though, man. That's NickMaddenTv. I'm gonna be out of here, dog. I'll be back with more content.
NickMaddenTv. Yeah, we locked